From the Pubco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. Time for our inbox segment. Your email questions answered here on video. And Barry, it's all Oklahoma State SI this week. Sports Illustrated's investigative report looking at Oklahoma State football. All questions related to that. Let's get right to it with one from Rob. Rob says, I was wondering if you think OSU could benefit from being more open to general media. Could that help prevent items like the SI article in the future?
I don't see how. I mean, I'd wish everybody would be more open to the media, but I can't blame this on any kind of barriers. I just don't. SI sought out some disgruntled former Cowboys, and I don't see how that's related to media access. So I don't see it, but if somebody wants to make the case, sign me up for it.
If we got to talk to more players more often, I'd be on board. It definitely would help us in being able to tell more stories about players and personalities and that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't think this is a matter of being open or closed. This was done regardless of access at Oklahoma State. In fact, no current players were talked to for the story, Barry. They're not involved in the story. I mean, let's be honest, to this point, we've seen no evidence of anything current, and I don't think SI has given any indication that anything currently should be counted among the transgressions of Oklahoma State.
Right.
All right, back to the inbox. This one from Clay. Clay says, it has become the American culture to discredit any accusers. This would include Major League Baseball, Lance Armstrong, the Paterno family, and many others. A great point, Barry.
It is a great point, and it's in view of this OSU situation. Now, what's happened is, as the SI report has progressed, we found more and more holes in it. So I wouldn't say that their story is unraveling, but their story is definitely losing steam. It's losing energy. I think it's a good lesson. The Sports Illustrated report contains virtually all the report is based on testimony by individuals. No paper trails, no receipts, no phone records, no physical evidence. And I think that's a good lesson for us all. The more physical evidence you have, the stronger your case. I think lots of people have been able to pick some holes in the Sports Illustrated report because it's strictly just the testimony of individuals.
And I think, Barry, you and I are both on record as saying that just because some holes have been punched in, it doesn't discredit everything. But at the same time, I think you go back to something like Yahoo Sports' investigation of Miami football and Nevin Shapiro. And while it might have started all with anecdotal information, conversations with players or boosters or that sort of thing, they then went and got the paperwork. And that's the thing that investigative reporting, man, that makes it even more rock solid. And we haven't seen that out of these SI stories. I really thought with the academic story, that might be a chance to go get transcripts. Obviously, the SI can't get them, but any player could call and get his own transcript and provide some information that way. We didn't see it, and we really haven't seen much in the way of a hard physical evidence in this reporting. All right, back to the inbox. This one comes from Tom. Tom says, Blake Bell. Wait a second, I thought this was all OSU SI. Blake Bell is the luckiest guy in Oklahoma this week. The press is too involved with the OSU case, oh, there it is, to pay attention to him this week. Hey, excellent point, too.
It's a wonderful point. I mean, think about we're seeing a change in the Oklahoma quarterback job this week.
Kind of a big deal.
It would be a huge deal any other week, and it's been shoved to the back burner. Bob Stoops announced it on Monday. We knew it was coming Saturday night, but he announced it on Monday. So we got a little bit ahead of the SI report that broke on Tuesday morning, but still, Blake Bell's been able to go about his business. It'd be a huge spotlight on him, but even OU fans are eat up with the OSU scandal story. So Blake Bell, thank you, Sports Illustrated.
Definitely so, but I'll tell you what, none of that will take off the pressure on Saturday. When OU has to trot out there and he's the starter full-time for the first time, the pressure will be on because he really has a chance to show what he can do. Trevor Knight, even though he got hurt, had really struggled, hadn't made a statement in a game that said, I am definitely the guy. Blake Bell's got a chance to say, I'm the guy. And he's got a chance to say it pretty definitively. So the pressure's on him to play well on Saturday. All right, Barry, lastly from Tim. Tim says, if there were widespread academic fraud at Oklahoma State, wouldn't our academic rating be higher?
Well, it's an ironic question and a really fun question. It goes sort of, you can turn it around on the drug issue too. If OSU was so lax on its drug policy, why did so many guys get kicked off the team for drugs, failing drug tests? Here's what's happened. To me, there has been some lax going on in, I think OSU's academic standing is not strong. The APR, which the NCAA measures academic progress, OSU's is weak compared to most of the other schools with which they compete in all the other conferences, the major conferences. And clearly, with Mike Gundy, he's kicked off a bunch of guys over the last 6-7 years for failed drug tests. Can't say that, but we know that's what it is. Those two things don't really correlate. I mean, if you're lax, a lot of guys should be skating by. If you got easy academics, why are so many guys not graduating or even not flunking out? So it's a little bit of a conundrum, and I think the answer is the Cowboys need to do a better job. Forget whether SI's right or OSU's right. The Cowboys could do a better job of vetting players in the recruiting process. Don't bring in knuckleheads. Don't bring in so many guys that are not capable of doing college work. If you just focus on those two things, I think OSU will be fine.
One of the guys that was mentioned in the SI piece on the drug use at Oklahoma State said that he failed tests and was never penalized. What he failed to mention, or what was not written about, was that he was ultimately kicked off the team because of drug use. So was he punished? I would say getting kicked off the team is punishment. But I will say this. It never hurts to look at your structure of enforcement and oversight. And this is a chance for Oklahoma State to look deep and say, listen, are we doing enough to make sure that everything is above board, that the way guys are being tested for drugs, that the way that guys are being tutored, that all of this is right? Now, some of that you may come back and say, we're doing it right. But if it's not, then this is their chance to really look in the mirror and see where they can improve. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.